This NBA season feels different, not because of blockbuster trades and not because of the draft, but because of who's getting waived and why. All-stars, both former and current, lottery picks, and players still on rookie deals. They're being cut, bought out, or stretched at a pace that feels unprecedented. Bradley Beal, waived. DeAndre Ayton, bought out. Damian Lillard, waived and stretched. Even young guys like Blake Wesley and Colby Jones are getting dumped before their rookie contract is up. So what's really going on here? Are teams just more ruthless? Are players finally prioritizing fit over fat contracts? Let's break it down. On paper, the number of waiver claims this year isn't that unusual. Historically, the NBA sees between 4 to 8 waiver claims a year, and this offseason is on track to fall in that same range. But what is different is the profile of players being waived. This offseason, we've already seen Bradley Beal reportedly giving up nearly $14 million to join the LA Clippers, Damian Lillard being waived and stretched by Milwaukee to make room for Miles Turner as the Bucks try and appease Giannis Antetokounmpo, Marcus Smart bought out by the Wizards and signing in LA, DeAndre Ayton walking away from big guaranteed money as both team and player realised they'd be better off apart, and Cole Anthony taking a buyout after being used as matching salary to find a bigger role and hopefully boost his value on the open market. That's not normal. These aren't washed vets or training camp cuts. These are real contributors, rotation players and starters. Maybe even players who are going to make a lot more money next offseason. But why now? There are 3 main forces driving this wave. First, the NBA's new CBA and the dreaded second apron. Teams above that threshold are punished harshly. No mid-level exception, no buyout signings, and no aggregation in trades. To get under the apron, teams are doing something radical. They're waiving stars and stretching contracts to spread the cap hit across multiple seasons. That's how Beal and Lillard ended up on the proverbial street. The Phoenix Suns waived and stretched Beal and are paying him approximately $19.4 million for the next 5 seasons for him not to be on the team. It's a bit like that scene in Moneyball, except I doubt Beal will have the same veteran leadership on the geriatric Clippers. Phoenix have now ducked the second and first apron, giving them a bunch of new roster building capabilities and, honestly, cold hard cash in Matt Ishbia's pockets. The Suns probably won't be good this season, or the one after that, or the one after that. Blanket comments there, but they're not trending upwards. Getting out of the second apron means that their future draft picks are unfrozen and they're free to trade them, although if I were the Suns, I would hold on to them for now. For the Milwaukee Bucks, waiving Damian Lillard wasn't so much about saving money because their team is bad. It's about opening up space because their team is going to be bad with Lillard sidelined following an Achilles tear. By waiving and stretching Dame, the Bucks opened up enough space to sign Miles Turner and, importantly, convince Giannis that the Bucks are good enough to win now and he should stay with the franchise. It's throwing good money after bad, except that the bad money is $22.5 million for the next 5 seasons and will be in the air a lot more after the good money realizes that the team sucks and they should request a trade. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but let me just say, the Bucks are cooked when/if Giannis leaves or falls out of the MVP race. The second main force is that you've got players themselves choosing opportunity over money. Guys like Ayton and Smart could have stayed put and collected every dollar if they'd stayed in Portland and Washington. They would have made their full salary, and I'm sure both of those front offices would have floated them as trade chips at the deadline and would have just been moved for matching salary or just anything before sputtering into free agency the following offseason. Instead, they left cash on the table to go where they wanted, to contend, to get minutes, or to just get out of bad situations. Funnily enough, they're both ending up in the bright lights of LA and they're putting themselves under the league's biggest spotlight. But for every player who flames out in LA and gets sent death threats for missing threes, cough Danny Green cough, it can also do wonders for their stock and get them paid in free agency. If Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton work out in LA and become reliable contributors to a playoff team, they'll probably decline their player options for the following season and make more money in the open market. If it doesn't work out and their stock continues to fall, you can't blame the two of them for trying. It probably wasn't going to happen in their current situations anyway. The third reason is there is a shift in how teams view young players. Even rookies and recent picks are getting waived if they're not immediate contributors. Look at someone like Blake Wesley, a former 2022 first rounder, already being waived and salary dumped to San Antonio. Or Colby Jones, a second round pick just last year. He was moved on after barely even a season. Teams used to wait it out, and now you've got to show something quick or you're out. These two weren't traded for value by an interested team. They were given up for a firm handshake and a bag of peanuts. Now, that's a little reactive of me. Colby Jones has been picked up by the Pistons and Wesley has been signed by the Trailblazers, but gone are the years of waiting for a late pick to develop. That could be because teams are looking to save money wherever possible with the restrictive tax aprons. It could be because teams are trusting their scouting departments a lot more. It could be a mix of the two, or it could just be that these two players aren't good at basketball and I'm just too dumb to see it. But it's definitely noteworthy. The big picture is that this isn't just about bad contracts or fringe players. This is about a league in transition. As the financial rules tighten, roster spots have never been more valuable, and the trade-off is clear. Teams would rather waive a name than pay the luxury tax penalty, both being financial and with the roster constructing abilities. Players would rather give up $5 million than spend a year in basketball purgatory. What we're seeing is a shift in power and a shift in mindset. Less sentimentality and more strategy. Less write it out and more ripping the band-aid off. So waiving used to mean the end. It used to be the end of a career for someone who's just going to go play overseas, or maybe someone who's going to go to retire, but now it might just be the beginning. And wow, isn't that beautiful? In the new NBA, being waived doesn't mean that you're unwanted. It means that you're repositioning, potentially. For teams, it's about flexibility, and for players, it's about freedom. This offseason, we started to see the true impacts of the latest collective bargaining agreement. I initially thought, with many others, that this would eliminate the league's middle class and punish owners who are happy spending for a great team. Instead, we're seeing owners still spend if they want to, and that middle class existing, see Luke Cornett and free agency, but less brain-dead moves and no major salary dumping. I look forward to seeing what other impacts it has on the league.